Welcome to Bookish Artist. This following story is made up by AI. Hope you like it. In the quiet town of Oakwood, where the scent of freshly baked bread wafted through the narrow streets, lived a young orphan named Oliver. He was a boy of meager means, with tattered clothes and a heart burdened by the weight of loneliness. His father, once a celebrated writer, had passed away when Oliver was just a child. Left with no one but himself, the young boy dedicated his life to preserving his father's memory. Oliver's small cottage stood on the outskirts of town, nestled among towering oak trees. Its roof leaked when it rained, and the walls were worn with age, but it was a place that held treasured memories for Oliver. Inside, shelves overflowed with books, their pages yellowed with time. His father's words echoed through those worn-out pages, offering comfort and solace in the absence of his physical presence. Despite his poverty, Oliver possessed an indomitable spirit. Each day, he would venture into town, his shoulders stooped under the weight of a large sack slung over his back. With a twinkle in his eyes, he collected scrap metal, old newspapers, and discarded bottles, anything he could find to exchange for a meager sum at the local junkyard. These meager earnings were just enough to put food on the table and fuel his unwavering determination. As Oliver wandered through the bustling market square one sunny morning, his gaze caught the sparkle of a dusty typewriter sitting in a forgotten corner of a quaint antique shop. The keys, once polished and gleaming, were now tarnished and forgotten, much like Oliver himself. An idea began to form in his mind, as a surge of hope coursed through his veins. With the little money he had saved, Oliver approached the shopkeeper, his voice filled with earnestness. "Sir, I would like to buy that old typewriter," he said, pointing toward the forgotten relic. The shopkeeper, a kind-hearted old man with gentle eyes, smiled and agreed to sell it for a modest sum. Oliver's heart swelled with gratitude as he cradled the typewriter in his arms, knowing that it held the key to his father's legacy. Returning home, Oliver placed the typewriter on a rickety wooden table, its presence breathing life into his tiny sanctuary. He dusted off the keys, straightened the paper, and delicately pressed his fingers onto them. The clattering of the keys filled the cottage, a melodic symphony that resonated deep within his soul. With every keystroke, Oliver could almost hear his father's voice guiding his hand, as if his words were being channeled through the rusty mechanism. Late into the night, Oliver poured his heart onto the page. He wrote tales of adventure and love, painting vivid landscapes with his words. The stories flowed effortlessly, as if his father's spirit had joined him in that small room, whispering inspiration into his ear. Through his writing, Oliver found solace and purpose. Each word penned was a tribute to his father, a testament to his enduring love. Word of Oliver's remarkable talent spread like wildfire through the town. The residents were captivated by the beauty of his stories, finding solace in the magical worlds he created. Bookstores clamored for his manuscripts, and newspapers sought interviews with the young prodigy. Oliver's dreams were no longer confined to the walls of his cottage, they took flight, soaring high above the clouds. As the first half of Oliver's story reached its crescendo, the world awaited with bated breath, eager to witness the second act of this captivating tale. But little did they know that Oliver's journey had only just begun, and the trials that lay ahead would test his resilience and strength in ways he could scarcely imagine. With newfound recognition and a growing fan base, Oliver's life began to change. Book deals poured in, and he found himself attending literary events and mingling with renowned authors. Despite the glitz and glamour surrounding him, Oliver remained grounded, his humble origins etched in his heart. He knew that his success was not solely his own, it was a testament to the love and guidance of his father. As Oliver's fame grew, so did his desire to give back to the community that had embraced him. He established a scholarship fund for underprivileged children, ensuring that they had access to education and a chance to chase their dreams. The dusty typewriter that had sparked his journey became a symbol of hope for countless young souls, a reminder that dreams could be pursued against all odds. But just as Oliver was basking in the warmth of his achievements, a dark cloud cast a shadow over his path. News arrived that the local orphanage, the very place that had sheltered him in his darkest days, was on the verge of closing down due to lack of funds. The thought of those innocent faces, robbed of a chance at a better life, pierced Oliver's heart. Determined to make a difference, Oliver embarked on a tireless campaign to save the orphanage. He organized fundraisers, spoke passionately at town meetings, and even auctioned off his own prized possessions, including his cherished typewriter. The community, touched by his unwavering dedication and the purity of his intentions, rallied behind him. Donations poured in from far and wide, and the orphanage's future began to brighten. In the midst of his fundraising efforts, Oliver received a mysterious letter. It was handwritten, the penmanship delicate and elegant. The letter revealed a secret that had been carefully guarded for years, a hidden bank account containing the royalties from his father's books. It was a fortune that could change Oliver's life, but he saw it as something far more precious, a chance to secure the future of the orphanage. Without a second thought, Oliver transferred the funds to the orphanage's account, ensuring that generations of children would find shelter, love, and hope within its walls. The news spread like wildfire, and Oliver became a beacon of selflessness, a shining example of compassion in a world often plagued by indifference. As the orphanage thrived, Oliver returned to his writing. His stories continued to captivate readers, but now they held an even deeper meaning. Each word he penned carried the echoes of the orphanage's laughter, the resilience of its children, and the enduring spirit of his father. Oliver's tales touched hearts, inspiring others to embrace kindness and look beyond their own circumstances. Years passed, and Oliver's legacy grew. He became a celebrated author, not solely for his talent, but for the love and compassion that permeated his stories. The cottage in Oakwood, once a haven of solitude, transformed into a literary sanctuary, welcoming aspiring writers from all walks of life. Oliver mentored them, nurturing their talents and kindling the flame of their dreams, just as his father had done for him. Oliver never forgot the struggles of his early years or the love that had carried him through. He lived a life defined not by material wealth, but by the wealth of the connections he forged, the lives he touched, and the compassion he shared. In the quiet town of Oakwood, his name became synonymous with hope, reminding all who heard his story that one person, armed with determination and love, could change the world, one word at a time. Subscribe.